Welcome to what is going to be a brand new podcast between Mike and I. It's called King of the Idiots. Kings of the Idiots. I already screwed that up because you are looking at two monumental kings of all idiots, with me probably leading the way after the last couple of weeks. And as we progress with this, with some of the stories that we're going to be allowed. By the way, I kind of want to have an effort here where really nothing's off limits. I mean, that's kind of how it's been with me, even though, there's probably some things I shouldn't say, but in here, we're going to try to go with that. So, and we'll continue to do the same stuff. We got some obviously 80s topics are popped into my head today, and we'll focus on a little bit of sports. So I want to start with my first one. So you obviously know how much that we both love 80s music, right?
Yes.
So I was listening. So Cyndi Lauper, I like better now than I did then. But was she one of those, like, I have that category in the 80s where, like Molly Ringwald, like you try to just convince yourself they were attractive and you couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Like
she wasn't.
one of those that was like, I mean, really wasn't bad looking, but like, no, I'm not gonna, right?
No, yeah. That's exactly right. She was not. No, no. Belinda Carlisle,
Oh
really
my,
good
that's
looking,
another category.
right?
That's
The
another
Susanna
category.
Hoffs from the Bangles,
Yes.
good looking,
Now that's
right?
another category. And we had this discussion. We had this discussion last week, and this is gonna like, I understand that Tiffany was 16, all right. But I actually have a story about Harry Potter that I'll have to bring up sometime about me goofing about Hermione Granger. But people can probably wonder where that's going. Tiffany was 16, I get it, but
Yeah,
she was more attractive, right? I mean, she was attractive
yeah,
16-year-old, like 16, 17, 18
yeah,
than she
yeah,
is now. Like that's another one, but you kind of backed
yeah,
off on that one because she was only
yeah.
16 years old.
Had to. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper was not. There was something weird about it. Like she was kind of punkish,
Yeah, yeah.
the punk rocker type thing, and that was not good. It didn't
So
work.
I always said Madonna was the same way, but she always seemed dirty, right? Like just like I don't want to. Right.
Here was the thing
Because
about.
I compare Pink to that. Like Pink looks like she'd snap you in half, but she's not.
Yeah,
And Madonna was nice looking, but you were afraid that she was kind of like lived on the streets, kind of dirty.
well, the thing about Madonna, so this is what for Madonna, for me, I did not find her overly attractive.
Yeah.
You know, she had a kind of crack in her teeth, and I did not find her overly attractive, but she really was sexy, right? With her
That's a good way
voice,
of putting it.
and she was like you knew that like if you spent the night with her, you were gonna come out sore the next day, right? Like something was gonna hurt. And you'd be like, God, it hurts, and I feel great about it. That was Madonna. But you're like, I don't know if I want to spend 2 nights, but one would be fine.
You need a day off.
You would need a day
You
off.
need load
Yes.
management, current load
Yes.
management with
Yes.
Madonna. That's a good
That's
one. I
right.
never thought of
Yeah.
explain. That's a good one,
Yeah.
explaining it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. So yeah, that's well said. Jose Canseco, that's why he had to take steroids. He had to keep it going.
He had to. They had no choice. Yeah. Yep. He was getting worked out.
Yes, yes, he was. Oh, that all right. So that since we just mentioned Canseco, which by the way, I told Mike this. Mike loves baseball. I'm more of a football guy, but I like baseball too. But Canseco was one of my favorites. But some people don't like him, but I enjoyed that book again, which is again like written by a third grader, is easily one of the best books to read because it's so
Yeah.
easy to read and it
Yeah.
goes and it's kind of a guide on how to take steroids without getting caught. All
It
right,
turns
so
out to be exactly correct as
that's
well.
what it was. It was like if you really want a guide how to take, and it's now you could do it now because there's so many different chemicals to take now. It's a way to do it without failing a test. It's pretty much
Yes.
that's
Yes.
what he explains to everybody.
Exactly right.
And there's actually like steps written in the book on how to do
Yeah,
it.
I know.
All right. So one of the things, speaking of baseball, that we talked about was the dropped third strike. Your take on that is that it should be that rule should be just taken
Wiped
out.
out. It's the
Yeah.
worst rule in baseball. Worst rule in baseball. Listen, if people will tell you, I've harped about this forever, and my son was a pitcher, so that in full disclosure, but it was the rule that was made for the fat kid who couldn't hit, and he struck out a lot, and he would still get on base so he could run, so he could run the bases. That's what that rule is. If you can't hit the ball, you're out. That's it. I got it. The catcher's supposed to catch it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. However, if you didn't hit it, too bad for you. Your job's to hit. You're out. Done. Forget it. You don't get first base for striking out. Ah,
So I brought this up last week to our baseball guys, and it was that you need to catch it. The catcher needs to catch it. That's his job. You pointed out that the hitter needs to hit. That's his job. I did
Yes.
not, however, reference it was made for the fat kid, but that is a good point. I did not mention that.
It is true.
But
Yes.
now,
Yes.
is this scientifically proven that you looked this up and that if you go back to, was it in the National Baseball Hall of Fame that the drop
Good
throw
one.
rule was made for the fat kid?
Good one. Good
Or
one.
or referenced as the first kid in line at the ice cream shop after the Little League game, or the kid that I gotta write another. I got a great story where we used to go get ice cream after Little League games, and my dad loved sitting in the. All right, I'm gonna get. So we went to this place called Jimmy's in Milford, it's still there, and shockingly does not sell Jimmy's, which I had no idea what that was. Have you ever heard Jimmy's referred to as sprinkles?
No, I've never
The
heard that.
stupid Philadelphia thing. So anyhow, Jimmy's, which is named after the guy, Jimmy, didn't
Yeah.
sell Jimmy's. Had no idea when it's get. So we would go there and we would pull up. They had a stream that ran next to it. Oh, almost knocked off my Starbucks cup.
Good one.
And my dad liked sitting there and watching the fat kids try to jump the stream. And he'd be like, "This one's not gonna make it. This one's not gonna make it." And we would sit there and that was like our entertainment. And they were the little league kids. So and he'd land in the water and it was great. So anyhow.
Maybe you should show our viewer that
Well,
Starbucks
let
cup.
me hang on. I want to. Oh, all right. Here, say, look at this. I don't have anything in it. That's look at that. That is a Starbucks cup that you get. You have to pay for it when you get that really cool strawberry lemonade summer drink in it, which
Yes,
will get.
correct.
Well, I had no idea. All right, I like it. Okay, but now I can't drink it because you make fun of me because you said only girls get it. Which, by the way, Starbucks has a commercial, and there's dudes drinking that drink, not in these cups, but they're still drinking.
Correct. Not those cups. Yes.
Yeah.
I bet you could drink an appletini out of that.
You probably could. You know what that would do though? That would encourage some
Yes.
lesbians to vacuum right
Yes.
over to you because you're drinking a. Which I don't even think they make those anymore because that will work in that case. But that's the details of that come at another time. All right. By the way, the commercial aired last night, and Angela said I should record it and send it to you to show you that there was dudes ordering that cool summer refreshing drink that is really good at Starbucks.
Are they
There's actually men in
heterosexual
there.
dudes?
And they're not wearing European shoes, I can tell you that. They're real dudes.
Are you sure they're heterosexual?
Well, they don't have the sneakers on. I'm assuming they are. Okay, so my take on that, I agree with you on that one because I think it's kind of dumb, but
Yeah.
I can never imagine because again, I'm not like a purist. Like the people that I've talked to are like guys that don't want to change anything. I mean, or even against potentially the ABS coming to the majors just to make the game better because the umpires suck. But I'd rather see
I'm not
the
against
I
that,
think
by the
it's
way.
and then so actually yesterday, so we were out for Penn State for softball championships, and the bases got loaded. Oh no, that's right. First base, that's right. First base was occupied. They advanced on the drop strike, and she was out anyhow. I don't like it because it's hard for the catcher too to find it.
Yes.
I get it. And what it like a lot of your really high level guys will bury one, that on the
Yes.
third strike,
Yes.
and the
Yep.
catcher's got to dig one out of the dirt.
Yep.
Half the time that Chapman throws one, he buries it. So
Yes.
I
It's
agree with that one, but
98 buried in the
yeah,
dirt, right? That's
right.
hard.
Because now I could see like if runners want to advance on a ball that's thrown
Of
away because
course.
it's a wild
Yeah, of
pitch. But I
course.
see that like they don't that's like everybody always says that baseball is about failure because you hit 370 or 300,
Yeah.
but your catcher shouldn't have like that's he's failing after another guy failed because he's got to have a guy swing and then make a play on a ball that's usually out of the zone to get the guy to swing. And I
Yeah.
would agree that I'd like to see that rule change to not
Yeah, I
allow
just don't.
him to get on.
In all seriousness, I don't think it's too much of a reward. That's
Yeah.
what it is, right? And it's too much of a penalty because the pitcher can make a really good pitch, and
Mhm.
it's too much of a penalty
Yeah.
for the
Right.
reward. So
Yeah.
that's the my issue with it.
Plus the other thing, it's like, you could be looking at what the hell is this? There's 4 outs in this inning. This makes no sense.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
like it's an error in the field is different or drop fly ball pop up, but that's ridiculous. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So um now we both talked, I think we both mentioned NBA. Here's why. So I have still not watched much since game one of
Yep.
the finals,
Yep.
but I'm finding out because I watched it and of course have to analyze the whole thing that I haven't watched and this is true, I haven't watched the NBA since the Cavaliers called timeout when they thought the game, when the guy had the ball and LeBron's looking at him going like this. What was that? Whenever I had cancer,
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
2016,
forever ago, right?
18,
Yeah,
couldn't do it. So we watched game one, and I can't, like, the game is terrible.
that's awful.
I mean, it's so
That's
I
awful.
saw a video put together today from guys like Shaq and Barkley and Larry Bird and some of these old time players that played when it was great. And I think it was even Shaq that brought up that Golden State has ruined it because they
Yeah,
had three good shooters, and now everybody wants to do that. So you're
yeah,
watching a game that to me looks like there's no structure, which NBA players say that. Now there's no structure, there's no defense, and then all of a sudden, when you have to stop a team in the fourth quarter, you can't because you don't know how to play defense, and you stop making threes. And apparently the ratings are down for the finals. Now maybe part of that is that, like, there's no big names in it, but still it's good players, and they
yeah,
got
yeah,
there. I mean, the
yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks can draw ratings a couple of years ago. So I feel okay that I'm not wrong. It's horrible to watch. I can't do it. And I also
Product is
understand now why high school guys are so much like this because they want to be like the pros.
The product is terrible. It's just
Yeah.
awful. There's no offense either. They just run down and a guy shoots it. And
Yes.
like if you can't shoot it, you throw it to another guy and he shoots it. It's the whole thing is terrible. And the whole thing also feels to me, and I'm not normally like this, I really am not. The whole thing feels somewhat scripted like wrestling to me, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
game,
Oh,
every game,
you're right. Yes.
one team jumps out to a big lead and you can go away until the fourth quarter and the last minute the other team comes back and then it's a close game at the end, which then takes 20 minutes because they have apparently an unlimited number of timeouts
Yes.
because they
Right.
got full timeouts and 20-second timeouts and like so the last minute of clock time takes 20 minutes of real human time. It's ridiculous.
It's funny that you say that because we left you that night and we went back to the hotel and watched that
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and Angela fell asleep, and it happened exactly like you said it was gonna.
Yeah.
And I said to her the next morning, I go, it's like when she got fired up at WrestleMania because John Cena won, and she's like, oh, here we go, referee's gonna come out, get knocked out, and and that's exactly, foreign
Yes.
object comes in.
Yes.
Exactly that. It's like
Yes.
watching WWE, but it's on the court because you're
That's right.
waiting for it to change. It's
That's right.
or a movie that you know is going to be fun, shitty, fun, and that's how it's going to
Yep.
be.
Yep.
Almost every game is like that. Whereas,
Yep.
at least hockey's not like that.
Yes. Yes, and I sent you that thing yesterday about
Yeah.
the refereeing crew, like against the and they're all like this, by the way. The refereeing crew, when they referee Pacers games, the Pacers are like 6-14 with that
Mhm.
crew, right? Like and to documentaries, if you watch that Donaghy
Yep.
documentary, that NBA ref, like they're influencing the game.
Yeah. No, you
100%
bet.
they are, right? They're
Yeah.
either making a call or not making a call, and that influences the game. So it's brutal. It's unwatchable to me.
Well, the other thing is, so the games are too long. So
Yes.
I saw Adam Silver said he wants to shorten them to 4 10-minute quarters,
Okay.
which is now, guy, you got a nerd like that running the basketball league. And instead of saying we're going to eliminate commercials or we're going to try to eliminate the breaks, you want to shorten the quarters, which will change the game historically because now you
Yes.
won't have. And the other thing is, you talk about for anybody, we had this conversation before, with anybody that doesn't think that you could fix these games, watch the 8 men out in the 20s,
Yes.
and now everything is about betting. It's
Yes.
all along the, like in hockey, it's all along the boards. When
They
they go to
sponsor
their in
hockey.
between periods, they're
Yeah.
talking about who's going to score the next goal. So the NBA,
Yes.
it's all it is. It's about DraftKings or any of that betting,
Yes.
betting, betting, betting. So
Yes.
if you think that these guys, and by the way, if you want to bet on a game as a referee, you just use somebody else's thing. It's not like I truly believe that this
Correct.
is going on, and they're the stage managers, like they have in wrestling,
Yeah.
of the game. They're keeping the flow going because they control the pace. They control how it's played, just like the NFL. The NFL
Yes.
referees are the stage managers. We want to
Yes.
slow the
Correct.
game down, or we want to favor a team one way or another. Because everything you have in the NBA and everything you have in NFL, most of those penalties or infractions are your opinion of it.
That's
Not
right. They're
if a guy
judgment
steps
calls.
on the sideline and is out, he's
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And if a guy steps
Yeah.
on an end line, but
Yeah.
like it is, I agree too. And I can't, even though
Yeah.
I want to kind of watch it, I can't do it. I can't
Oh, I
do it.
can't watch it. Hey, by the way, you want to do something to help the NBA? How about this? How about in your finals, you don't play a game on Thursday night and play the next game on Monday night?
Mm,
You got to be shitting me. This
correct.
drags out. It is the what, 14th of June, and they're in game five, I think.
Yes.
Like,
So
oh my
hockey,
God, it's
by the
like a week
way,
and a
had to
half.
go from Florida Thursday
Yes,
night to
yes,
Edmonton tonight because they're
yes,
the only place in the schedule that they
yes,
could fit it because of
yes.
baseball tomorrow night and
Correct,
basketball on Monday.
correct.
I told Angela the
Yep.
hockey schedule is based around the NBA finals. So you're
Yeah.
traveling from Florida, whoop, all the way to Edmonton. Oh, quick
Edmonton.
turnaround
Right. Yes.
because
six
the
hour
NBA,
flight.
yeah,
Yeah.
and ESPN baseball and the NBA
Yes.
controlled because you, God forbid, you put hockey against.
Yeah.
You got to find hockey. I don't even know what network it's on. TNT, it's on Vice. I don't know. It's on Mav TV. Who the hell knows where it is half the time? It's not on
The
Mav.
Stanley Cup finals are on TNT.
Yeah, yeah, and way better.
Yeah.
Way
Oh, way
better.
better.
Again,
Way better.
overtime again the other night. Way
Way
better.
better.
Way better.
Three of the four
Um,
games overtime so
Yes.
far.
Oh, yeah, and it's really good. I plan on when we're done here because we're doing this on a Saturday. I want to
Yeah.
watch that.
Yep.
All right. So, so the other thing too is, and what kind of leads me to something that's maybe off because the other stuff I think we can hold it, but what I'll refer to as so they also talk about how the game is ruined now because like these are players now, Barkley, Shaq, Kevin Garnett,
Yeah.
guys that played a certain way. First of all, played all the time, so that's another time.
Yeah.
Stupid,
Yes.
But
Yes.
the taking away the game that we grew up loving, and I say this exactly like the NFL. I've said this to you before. The game I loved in the NFL, the game you loved in the NBA was just a different brand. It was guys, first of all, both leagues, physical. Okay. That was
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
game. You
Yeah.
had the Steelers and the Raiders and the Dolphins and even Minnesota with their defense, the Ravens. You had physicality that intimidated teams. You had
Yeah.
the Pistons, even Michael Jordan, physical defense. They killed each other. Bird, he would fight with guys, right?
Yes.
Now you don't
Yes.
have that at all in the NBA, no defense. And in the NFL, we can't tackle anybody. You can't intimidate. You can't have a guy go offside on purpose and thump the center in the throat or anything like that. You
Yeah.
can't do that. So it's
Yeah.
the pussification of
Yeah.
sports. So
Yeah.
basketball's doing it, and
Yeah.
football's doing it. The core
Yeah.
of why this I want one. So we're at Penn State, and this is what started the decline of NFL football. The creation of the 7-on-7 competitions. They had a gigantic 7-on-7 competition at Penn State yesterday. No linemen, no tackling, kids in shorts wearing helmets. What's
Yeah.
next? Flags.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just gonna
So
say, well, they're gonna have flag football in the Olympics.
yeah, so the step is I swear to you, I mean,
Yes.
easily by 2035, the NFL is a flag league.
Yeah.
It's starting in high school.
Yeah.
That's what started it. When they went to 7-on-7s, I remember thinking this is going to suck because at first it was kind of neat because you worked on your passing. And they only did it in like you did it in your own scrimmages. Now they have competitions and teams are proud of winning the tournament, the 7-on-7. Linemen don't matter, and that's why the NFL. Because if you go back to the beginning of those, that's about where we are with guys that are in their late 20s and 30s in the NFL, and they don't want
Yeah.
to play that way anymore. The linemen are no factors in it. They have
Yeah.
little kid flag football now that you can play older. So the NFL and the NBA is the same thing. It's gone to a soft, no contact, cannot watch league. Cannot watch it.
Yeah, and I'm afraid baseball is down a similar path, although it's not a physical game, but it's a, showcase-based game now.
Mhm.
And you have perfect game that, you have these showcase kids, right? They don't know how to play baseball. They have no
Yep.
idea how to play baseball, how to play the game, how to hit behind a runner, right?
Mhm.
How to advance a runner, how to take a sack fly, they don't have any idea how to do that stuff, the fundamental stuff of playing the game of baseball, and it makes me cuckoo as a result. But it's happening in baseball too, right? It's different, but yeah, I completely agree. The NHL tried to take it out a little bit because I get it. You can't have a boxing match every night
Right.
on the ice. Like that's not good for the brand. That I understand. But of all the sports, they're still by far the most physical.
Mhm.
Right? At the end of that game three with the Oilers and the Panthers, I just turned into a brawl because Edmonton was getting their asses
Yep.
kicked. They were pissed off and they decided, hey, we're just going to go bang some guys up. And by the
Yep.
way, it was awesome.
Yeah, and
It
that's
was
the way it
awesome.
always was. You
Yeah.
always knew that if you were a hockey guy, that if a
Yeah.
playoff game or another game got out of control,
Yep.
there's going to be a game in a series where we're going to
Yeah.
fight.
Yes.
I also,
Yes.
the other thing, so the only thing that I still enjoy hockey. The problem I have now is guys trying to take penalties. That pussy Bouchard the other night, trying to like he shot in the head for getting boarded. Now that's borderline, but he didn't even hit his face, and he went down like somebody shot him.
He
You
went
know,
down like
you're
Kennedy
supposed
getting
to be.
shot in Dallas.
What's that?
They said he went down like Kennedy getting shot in Dallas.
I don't know if that's okay, but yes. Yeah, well, I think if you that's a good one. All right, yes, yes. But like, come on. And then they're not, first of all, we all know that playoff hockey, they're not going to call a lot of that stuff. And I just noticed a lot more guys trying to take like penalties, draw penalties, like soccer and basketball, like LeBron
Yeah.
flying
Yeah.
backwards into the first row because somebody pushed him. So I was glad we saw, I'm glad that that's still in it because that was, and again, this was the way the games were played, and it was part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. You don't want to see the giant 30-minute fights, not
Yeah.
necessarily, but you
Yeah.
want to, what was the core of basketball, the core of football, the core of hockey, and that core of baseball is going away because we're making it softer. You can't be physical and intimidate in football anymore. You can still do it in high school,
Yeah.
but that's it. That's it. It's well, the other thing is analytics are ruining basketball too because they're studying that.
Oh yeah, it's
One of
terrible.
the players said he was told by his coach that a 2-point shot is a bad shot. Bad shot. Now, if you
Yes.
make it, it's a bad shot. You shoot
Yeah.
threes.
I
And
know.
high school kids are doing the same thing. And the game is high
Yep.
school because I don't watch a ton of NBA. And I'm like, boy, the high school game, all these kids want to do is shoot threes. Coaches say that's because that's what the NBA does. It's all they want to do,
Yes.
shoot
Yep.
threes. But he's just going back to
Yep.
the game. Anyhow, I'm still glad hockey is physical, but football's going that direction. And it's very hard to watch an entire NFL game, having grown up loving the game of the 70s and 60s
Yeah.
and physical and the Steelers and the Raiders and Alzado trying to kill a guy. Like that's what you want to see, a physical game. You don't have that You don't have that at all.
No.
You can't tackle anybody.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I mean, freaking Lester Hayes tried to kill Lynn Swan,
Yeah.
and it was intimidation. That was part of the game. Well, I'm not going to come over the middle anymore. Now you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe so I'm okay with not killing guys, right? Like some of those guys headhunted.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you want to cut that back, I'm fine with it. But you got to tackle. That's like the
Mhm.
fundamental part of the game, right? These guys don't even they make no effort to
No.
tackle. It makes me crazy. It's unbelievable.
Well,
Zero.
so at the high school level, you got to wear the honeycombs on your head. You got to wear those stupid
Yeah.
popcorn bags or
Yes.
whatever, those egg
Yes.
cartons, because that's something to do. They don't practice in pads hardly at all. And then you got to be in
Yeah.
high school, you got to be careful because you don't want to get anybody hurt. You got no depth. They don't
Yeah.
want to tackle in the NFL or college because the NFL doesn't want to do it because of
Yeah.
probably the union deals where they only practice so much. So nobody
Yeah.
knows how to do it right.
Yes.
And again,
Yep.
I'm sure people have ever heard this, like they hate me bringing up rugby, but those guys practice hitting all the time.
Yeah.
And the right way to tackle
Yeah.
without wearing something on your head. I mean, if you, I've said this before, it's not crazy. The easiest way to fix the targeting penalty is take your helmet off.
Yeah,
You
that's right.
don't put a helmet on a guy, you're not going to hit with your head. Because
That's
if you
right.
do it once, you're going to learn. That's all they got to do. You want to play more physical, take the helmet off. And
Yeah.
if they don't want to wear big pads, make them smaller, but you have
Yeah.
no helmet.
Yeah.
Simple. Watch rugby one time. Watch the highest level. These guys can form tackle and do. And if you hit a guy with your head, there's a penalty. You're out of
Yeah.
the game, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
all they got to do. But because
Yep.
I just
I
hate,
agree.
I can't do the NFL full game by itself when you're watching it, where you can't be what I loved about the game when I first watched it, being physical. All right, I want you to tell the lizard on the leg story because I missed that when you put that on our list. Because there's no
So
lizards. Mike's in Florida, if you don't know. I'm not.
yeah, so
Even though I'm
we
a bastard.
Kathy's cousin and her husband came down and they were staying at our house. And we had a spare bedroom downstairs, and it was just a regular sized spare bedroom. And one night they're getting ready for bed, and they're like, "Hey, there's a lizard in there." I'm like, "Ah." So the way you catch a lizard, by the way, the way that we do, is take like a plastic cup and like a little thin piece, not cardboard, but something thin that has some structure to it, right? So you put the cup on top of the lizard, you slide that paper or that cardboard underneath it, turn it over, the lizard's captured in the cup, you throw it outside, right? Easy, easy peasy. So I go in there I'm like, oh, I'll get it, So I get the cup, and we had one special cup that we never drank out of. We knew it was the
That was
lizard
the
catching
lizard
cup,
cup then.
the lizard cup.
Do you want
And
this thing next time? This is look at that bastard.
Oh, no, you don't want that. No, no. So, Kathy's cousin is like, a typical girl. I don't want to be in there. So I go in, I'm like, I'll catch it. And her husband, Mike, goes in with me as well. And we're over on the other side of the bed. And it's about the width of we had beside the bed, we had a nightstand. That's about the width from the bed to the wall, right? Was the width of a nightstand. So, like that much, give or take. And this lizard runs behind the nightstand. So I tell Mike, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna pick this nightstand up and move it. And so I move it out of the way and I'll put that cup down and catch that lizard. He's like, all right. So he's standing right behind me. I move it. I'm wearing shorts. The lizard comes ripping out, runs right up my leg. It jumps on my leg at about my ankle bone and runs all the way up to my knee before jumping on the bed. Right. And Mike is going, you got it? You got it? And I'm going, it's on my leg. It's on my leg.
And then he proceeded to tell me he went, I know.
He did, yes. Yes, he validated that
Yeah.
it was on my leg before
And
he jumped
I
onto the
believe
bed.
then Donkey laughed and did nothing to help you with that. It's the way
He
I heard.
did zero to help.
Yeah.
Zero. In
Yes.
fact, he donkey laughed with his face beat red, which was actually unhelpful. So it was like negative help, to be honest.
Right. I got to tell you, I don't even know. Once it went under the nightstand, I'm probably out at that point because that's exactly my fear of how that would end. I don't know what my reaction would have been had it jumped on my leg. It probably would have been a lot more violent than what you just said, a lot worse. I needed to suck up more of those girly drinks in that case. That would have
Yes.
been rough.
Yes. Yes.
If I even would have made an attempt to get it. But now I know. We all know now how to catch a lizard if you need it. It's a cup with something thin to slide underneath it.
Yeah, yeah, that's how you catch a lizard. Put the cup, they're generally like that long, right? And
Yeah.
every now and then they'll be a little bit longer, or they'll start running away, and you cut the tail off because so you'll clip the tail off, and the tail starts wiggling on the carpet or whatever because the tail's moving around.
Why are you clipping the tail off? What are you clipping the tail off with?
Well, sometimes if the lizard is wider than the opening of the
Oh.
cup, and you put the cup down, the tail gets
Oh,
cut
so the
off.
tail comes off. Okay.
Yeah, the
You were
tail
gonna hit it with a
detaches.
hammer like they wanted to do in Christmas Vacation, like Clark
Oh,
wanted.
with the squirrel? Yeah, you want to hit the
Cover it with the
squirrel with the hammer?
thing and
Yeah.
hit it with a hammer.
Yeah. No, no. Yeah, you don't do that. That's a little
Now,
bit of a deal.
did the ladies run the other way? I mean, they're out, right?
Oh, yeah, they were running and screaming and
And you
running in the
closed
other
the
room.
door, right? You closed the door so I can't get out of the room, or no? Okay.
No, I didn't close the door.
Well,
Yeah.
we know how to catch a lizard. I'm going to make a note of that. I hope that never happens because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think I would. I don't know how I'd
Next time you
handle it.
come down. Oh, by the way, this happened tonight. This is breaking news. I'll send you the video and you can put the picture up. Samantha and I went out to she had to go to Home Depot to get some stuff, and we were coming back. Uh, as you come into our neighborhood there, and you make where you make the left turn to
Yeah.
come in, there was a pretty massive black racer snake on the road crossing the road. So I will send you that. You can put it up for our viewer, and they can see it. I've never seen one that big, like
Our
out in the
viewer,
wild.
our viewer, if that. Okay, because yeah. So this is bigger than the one that was under your refrigerator.
Way bigger, way bigger. I just sent you the picture. This thing is huge. I
All
think it
right.
had just eaten something.
I think I can pull this up on the. Oh, holy hell! I'm out on. Oh
Look
my
at that
God, I'm
thing.
out. I don't even want to look at this thing. I don't even want to look at that picture because it's a good one because you got it moving. Oh, hey, wait, there's a video.
Yes.
You got a video of this son of a
Yeah,
bitch?
yeah.
Not even.
I pulled up beside it with the window down, and Samantha took video. That's some
Holy
bitch.
hell!
That some bitch is big. You see that?
Now what? That's not poisonous?
Nope. That's a black racer. It is non-poisonous,
Oh my God!
but it is.
I'm gonna have a dream about that now tonight. I know it. I got to get that off. That's bad. Shit. That's not. Forget it. We're not coming. By the way, if I ever see one of those anywhere near your house and I'm there, I'm probably not coming back. That's not good. God, oh my God. And that's just going across the neighborhood then.
Just crossing the street.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's out.
I've never seen one that big. We lived here 24, 25 years. I've never seen one in a neighborhood like that that's that big. I couldn't believe it.
So most people that don't, so snakes are really like I almost said Han Solo. I'm freaking Indiana Jones. I
Good one.
do not, that's
Hate,
the worst.
I
That's
hate
the worst.
snakes.
Um, I have no, to me, like people be like, it's like we have them in Pennsylvania. That's a garter snake. I don't care what it is. It
Yes.
can be not deadly or deadly. I'm out.
Yes. Yes.
I remember, well, I have some snake stories with Angela that are pretty embarrassing, but I told her once we went hiking one time, I go, listen, if I see one, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm not going to be able to process what I see and then be like, okay, don't freak out.
Yeah.
So, but
Yep.
I'll get to that another time because that would do it for me right there. Now that's going
Yes.
towards somebody's house, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's got to come out and capture that thing.
Like it kind of slithered away up in the grass and we left. We got out of there. I don't know where it was going.
I'm just trying to think if I when I was down there for the championship games, I edited one of my stories out in your backyard. If I'd have seen that thing come out of that pond in the back, I'd have
You imagine? Holy shit.
now I got something else to be afraid of. Because to me, any body of water in Florida, there's a gator in it. Even if it's along the road, I think there's a gator in there. Now I'm going to
Snakes.
think that
That's a big son bitch, man.
that
That's
is.
snake. Oof.
That's rough. That's yeah, that's not gonna. I don't even want to. Now I got that video on my phone. Now it's gonna freak me out. What? I'm just gonna. I got a little bit of time here. What? What else did I have? Oh yeah, we talked about the Starbucks cup. Okay, so that's it. Oh, so I'm gonna pull up, which you haven't had it. So I want to show something to people, and then you can react when we're done. I'm gonna let people see this. The video of the catalytic converter
Oh
woman.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so everybody here, take a look at this.
I love it when people think that I'm stupid. I love when people think that I'm stupid because tell me why I'm at the mechanic shop and he talking about I need a Cadillac converter, but I drive a Jeep. Make it make sense. Think I'm stupid. Ladies, when y'all going down to the mechanic shop, take somebody with y'all. Your brother, your uncle, your daddy, your boyfriend, somebody. Stop going to these mechanic shops by yourselves because they know we don't know anything about cars. So they trying to give us any type of services we don't even need. Outrageous prices. Because I don't understand. Make it make sense. A Cadillac converter. I don't even have a Cadillac. A Jeep converter, maybe. They think we stupid, ladies. Don't let these mechanics play in your face. And it be the shade tree ones all the way down to the dealerships. They all try to play in our faces. So next time, when I go get my car fixed, best believe I'm going to have somebody with me because I'm not playing with these people today. I'm not playing with these people.
That's something.
Okay. First
That's
right. So here's the
that
thing
is
that jump
impressive.
out. First of all, it reminds me of Costanza with the Johnson rod. Or that's the first thing. But here's what stands out. So first off, it, I mean, again, it's an idiot proving how stupid she is, and then going on social media so everybody else can see how stupid she is. But the other thing that jumps out is that, first of all, it's catalytic, which if you ever had been around a
Yes.
car since a kid, not
Yes.
Cadillac. But the fact that everybody she mentions to go with, she does not mention a husband. So
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah, that's a good
sure
one.
she does.
Yes.
Your dad, your brother,
Yes.
your boyfriend, who, but
Yeah.
not her husband, because I'm
Yep.
doubting that she's got one.
Yep.
That is one. That's better than the Eagles mayor spelling Eagles wrong. I mean, it's close, but it's better when she did the Eagles chant and spelling it wrong. That
Ah, that's pretty
Cadillac
funny.
converter. That's what we should have named this podcast. That will be something
That's
to keep
funny.
for a while.
Yes.
Cadillac converter.
That is a good one. That's a
So
good
I'm
one.
guessing she thought it converted her Cadillac. Oh, maybe she
Her
thought it
Jeep.
converted her
You
Jeep
thought
into
it
a
could.
Cadillac.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct. Yes. Yep. Yep. That's something.
that's great.
That is something, isn't it?
All right, we're running out of time here. That was good. That was good. So come up with some new stuff for next week. I was going to save that, but we might start with that one too next week. And then I got a couple of eight. Oh, I want to talk about documentaries.
Okay. Oh
Yeah, I want
yeah.
to talk about documentaries, everybody. So we have this thing, Mike and I, that you watch a documentary. It's very rare that you're going to think worse about a person after you watch a documentary. This, however, is not true. I'll see everybody next time.
Tell me when. Tell me when. Tell me when.